Okay, so you're probably wondering, why would I turn down a six-figure job? Okay, and one thing you got to understand is it wasn't aligned what I truly wanted to do. It was putting a limit on what I truly can make off what I want to do in my purpose. See, so many times we get the money, we get the things that we think we want, but it's not the true things that we need for our lives to feel satisfied at the end of our life. So when it came down to when I got the offer to do a six-figure job, it was a no-brainer to not do that job, because I knew that what I'm doing in this day and age today is higher than six figures. It's worth more than six figures, okay? And to be honest, I'm thinking bigger, okay? And I already built the foundation of my legacy and foundation of, pouring into self-improvement community and, monetizing things that I'm good at that is over six figures. See, a lot of times put your cap of, your skills and your financial capability by just a job. Investing so much time into schools, not knowing if the school is going to return your funds. Okay, so this is why I skipped out on the six-figure job, because it wasn't in my purpose. It wasn't in anything that I wanted to do. Okay, you got to make sure that the things that you do in this world is actually what you want to do. It's not about, hey, I should do this. It sound right. Like, bro, you gotta do what's for you, man. You gotta do what's for you, because money is not gonna be a problem for me. Money isn't gonna be a problem for me because I'm doing everything I can do to take care of that area in my life. So when it comes to six figures, oh yeah, now we're going to get six figures. I am the brand, okay? I am the income that needs to come my way, okay? So I've been coming up. So with that being said, bruh, I am the pay. You got to look at yourself as the brand, especially if you want to be an entrepreneur, okay? You are the business. With that being said, you have to run the things that you do as a business. See, I have daily actions I have to take place every day to support my entrepreneurship. So instead of doing a six-figure job, I started a business that can give me more than six figures, okay? Now, that first business didn't work out. Actually, my first ever business was landscaping. I never told y'all that, but my first ever business was landscaping. And what these things were doing was putting me in the market, having me understand is that I cannot have a limit on how much I make every week, and it could be high and it could be low. It all depends on me. How many times can you count on yourself when times get hard? How many times? That's why, when you see a title, wow, he turned down a six-figure job, it's like, why would you do that? It's because I know my capability is more. I know my value is more. I know I can get more. I knew it wasn't in my purpose. I knew it wasn't going to be in my morals to make that decision, to work that job. It wasn't in the field of what I wanted to do. No. So you got to make sure that certain decisions you're doing in your life every day is the decisions you truly want to do. You don't have to hang out with that person. You don't have to talk as much as you think you have to talk, or you don't have to, overthink, oh, I'm talking too much. What is in your purpose? Okay? And I locked into that. And, I've been getting rewarded by, just putting in the work and getting actual results. So when I see six figures, I don't look at that as the ceiling for me. Okay? And people could say, well, what about the pit stop? Well, it's certain pit stops that's not your pit stop. That job wasn't my pit stop. It wasn't. Because that money, hey, I'm already making that, dog. I'm already making it, dog. And if you're not rich, you already rich. You just gotta put the work behind you. And it's not to say don't take certain pit stops, like certain jobs and things like in that nature. But dog, that job was genuinely not in my purpose. It was gonna be taken away from my morals. It was gonna put a cap on my ceiling, and there is no ceiling. It's the imagination that there is a ceiling in your life, but it is no ceiling in your life. So stop being the one to hold yourself back and go. And go, bruh. And go, bruh. Because before you know it, boop, 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 boop. It's the end of the year again. And you ain't do shit. So you can look at these six-figure jobs as that's the end all be all, but it's still many people who making six figures living check to check. So you have to build something that makes sure you are okay. I am okay with that job, without that job, because I'm okay with the job I'm here on this universe for. I realize that. I know my purpose. Do you? Because just me sharing this video should be open your eyes to your purpose. What do you really want to do? How are you going to really make this happen? Are you putting in the work when nobody is looking? Okay, that is the only way you are not going to complain about your results, because you know you're putting your effort into what you have to do every single day. That is why I turned down the six-figure job. There's no ceiling. I know the purpose. I know the brand is worth more. I know this headspace could create more. I know it's more proper pit stops. Are you ready to take the pit stops? Are you ready to do what you don't feel like doing? Are you ready to say no to some big time money when you know it's more money? Listen, Nike tried to sign LeBron for, don't quote me on the exact amount, but it wasn't as much as he ended up getting as far as the Nike deal brand. And his deal was probably about 10 million or something. His first ever deal. It could have been lower than that. He ended up getting like 50 to like 100 million through his first deal with Nike. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably way more. But the analogy is brought up because he could have signed for a lousy, which is a lot to the junior population, so you're not gonna complain about it, but 10 million. He could have signed for 10 million, but instead he waited, and LeBron later ended up signing for about like 50 to 100 million, somewhere in them areas. But I go to say that to say he knew that wasn't his price. He knew what he built, what his worth was more. He was worth more. Okay, you got to stop thinking, six figure is something you can't achieve, that it's something so far out of reach. It's very possible, long as you do the proper steps, offer the right skills, offer the right products, and put in the work and build a system. All these successful businesses around the world, McDonald's, the car wash places, car wash businesses, drive-throughs, like clothes, certain top clothing brands, they all have a system. They all have a system. People who are selling courses, a system. A system. And to start with that simple schedule. So even if you're not even one to have a calendar, I would say write in your notes and change your life every day by just noting down your thought process and noting down things you got to remember. Because these are little simple steps that are simply changing your life every day that you have to follow up on. Because you are building into the things that you want, and to actually get the things you want, you have to take the ceiling off your roof, man. You have to take away from all the limitations that you put on yourself, and the scarcity that you have in yourself. See, when I turned down the six figures, I had no scarcity. I know I'm worth more. I know me as the brand is worth more. So have some dignity and know your worth in this world. And you'll never have a problem with the results you get in this world or a decision you made in this world. You're okay with it all. So open your eyes to your worth. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And you may have to deny certain things to get to things you want. I'm gonna holler at y'all in another one, man.